Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. And all glories to assembled devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we're reading today from Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, titled Maharaja Parikshit, Cursed by Brahmana Boy, text number 23rd. Aham hi prishtaryamano bhavadhir. Aham hi prishtaryamano bhavadhir. Achaksha atmavagamo trayavan. Achaksha atmavagamo trayavan. Nabhah patanti atmasamak patrinas. Nabhah patanti atmasamam patatrinas. Tata samam Vishnu gatih vipashida. Tata samam Vishnu gatim vipashida. Aham hi prishtaryamano bhavadhir. Achaksha atmavagamo trayavan. Nabhah patanti atmasamam patatrinas. Tata samam Vishnu gatim vipashida. Prishtaryamano bhavadhir. Achaksha atmavagamo trayavan. Aham samapatatrinas. Tata samam Vishnu gatim vipashida. Aham hi prishtaryamanom abhabdhir. Sham vanotrayavan. Nabhah patanti atmasama patritanas. Tata samam Vishnu gatim vipashida. Aham, my humble self, he, certainly, Prishta, asked by you, Aryamana, as powerful as the sun, Bhavadvih, by you, Achaksha, may describe, Atma Avagama, as far as my knowledge is concerned, Atra, herein, Yavan, so far, Nabha, sky, Patanti, fly, Atma Samam, as far as it can, Patatrina, the birds, Tata, those, Samam, similarly, Vishnu Gatim, knowledge of Vishnu, Vipashitaha, even though learned through. Okay, so translation by His Grace. His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O Rishis, who are so powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky, as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows. Okay, it's very short purport today. The Supreme Absolute Truth is unlimited. No living being can know about the unlimited by his limited capacity. The Lord is impersonal, personal, and localized. By his impersonal feature, he is all-pervading Brahman. By his localized feature, he is present in everyone's heart as the Supreme Soul. And by his ultimate personal feature, he is the object of transcendental love and service by his fortunate associates, the pure devotees. The pastimes of the Lord in different features can only be estimated partly by the great learned devotees. So Srila Sutta Goswami has roughly taken this position in describing the pastimes of the Lord as far as he has realized. Factually, only the Lord himself can describe himself, and his learned devotee also can describe him as far as the Lord gives him the power of description. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dharati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kirpasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. O Rishis, who is powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows. Okay, so 1 second. So, please, dear devotees, give me your blessings to say at least anything relevant today. Yeah. And it's very interesting verse, and it can be applied to everyone who speaks about Krishna and who's trying to preach in any way. And I know a lot of us don't feel enough of confidence to speak. And even me, like, there is my third time here today, and every time I feel just terrified before sitting to this Vyasa-san. Because the only thought I have, who am I to speak? What can I speak? Right? Because I know I don't have enough of knowledge. But it's not only about what I think about myself, but it also should be understood that only by mercy of Krishna and of our spiritual masters we are allowed to realize at least something and to speak at least something. So it is said that Srila Prabhupada said there is Gyan, a knowledge. It's like theoretical knowledge, right, which we can get from the scriptures. And there is a Vigyan. Vigyan is a practical knowledge. So this is the way in how we can apply this knowledge in material world. And the third part is a realization. So basically, whatever we read and whatever we understood, we can realize. And while I was preparing to the class, I was listening to one devotee who is giving some lectures to the students, and he's preaching to them, and he gives them very nice explanation of how jnana realization works, like in a common way, so we can understood. So he gives this example of cooking, because when you want to cook something, at first you need to get a recipe. So recipe, it is your gyan, knowledge, right? And then you take this recipe and you cook something. So you take the knowledge and you apply this knowledge. And this is your vigyan. And then the realization comes when you actually try this, like whatever you cook. So you can taste it, you can smell it, and this is how the realization comes. And it is said that, okay, I will open up my notes now. Yeah, and it's also said that whatever knowledge we get, we should not even try to give our own explanation to this knowledge, because we are not we have limited capacity, right, to understand at least something. and what to say about the absolute knowledge and absolute truth which all our previous acharyas are giving us through this Vedic literature. So, and one should be very humble and very submissive in getting this knowledge, because it's like our only duty just to hear, and then to try simply to repeat what we've heard, not trying to add anything else. And it is also said that no conditioned soul can liberate any other conditioned soul. So it means that when we get this knowledge from the Vedic scriptures, then basically we should to come to our spiritual master and ask for explanations, right? Ask him to give us directions on this path of going back to Godhead. So basically, our spiritual masters, they give us this Vigyan. And but only Krishna, it said, only Krishna can basically liberate us, right? No living jiva can liberate other living jiva. But only pure devotee can give you this direction, can give you the, the practical knowledge, right? So this is what we do in our Krishna conscious practice. For example, like I'm sure like every one of us has so many realizations from our everyday life, and even like one of my recent one was that, you know, we live in the ashram, and sometimes it's very hard to deal with each other. And just because we're conditioned souls, we're covered by this material, what is the word? I'm sorry for my English, anyway. So, sometimes we cannot get the realizations on our own way, right? And wherever disturbance comes, it is better to be guided by a spiritual master. So, the example I wanted to give, that basically that's not what I'm doing every time I come to my spiritual master, but you know, sometimes I complain about my relationship with other people. I just explain, oh, Guru Maharaj, it's so hard to tolerate some people, and it's so hard to, you know, like from the scriptures we know we should do this and that, but how practically to apply it, like so hard. Like I don't understand, because what I feel is only an anger, right? Like whenever I communicate with like some specific person, like it's hard sometimes to tolerate. And my spiritual master, he just said that to overcome the anger, you should learn how to forgive. And I remember it was like so nice moment, because like by myself I never haven't thought about this. Like I was going any other direction but not this direction, like simply try to forgive the person who just, you know, creates this anger inside of your heart. And so this is how we should act all the time, right? We get this direction, and then realization comes. So basically, when you apply this advice in the practice, everything just works. So, and from my side I can say that relationship became much more better, and then you can extend it on the any other relationship, So once you got this knowledge, once you applied it, once you realized it, you can use it in your future life. And this is the beauty of the process, because you can apply only this, what you understood by your heart, what you speaking as well. It's so hard just to read something and to repeat, because whatever you haven't understood, you cannot deliver to other people, basically. It's so hard even to explain in your words if you don't understand what it means. So this is how we also apply our knowledge. I have some nice verses from, the first one is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, which is said, so in this chapter it's explained basically, so we have 3 ways of perfection. Does anyone know about 3 ways of perfection? I will give you the direction. So the first one is called sadhana siddha. Siddha? Sadhana siddha? Sadhana siddha. Okay. So this perfection, which we can attain by executing devotional service according to the rules and regulations. And what is the next one? Nitya siddha. Eternal perfection attained by never forgiving Krishna in any time. Right? So this is the second perfection. And the third perfection? The most important one? I would say. No? Okay, the third one is kripa siddha. So this is perfection and attained by the mercy of the spiritual master of another Vaishnavas, right? So this is our way to achieve the perfection of knowledge of absolute truth, right? Just simply follow directions of the pure devotees. And what else I wanted to say about that regard? Okay, anyway. The verse, yeah. So the verse is Mukha kavitva kareyan sabara smarane pangugirya langhe adha dekhe taragane. The translation is, by remembering the lotus feet of the Panchatattva, a dumb can become a poet, a lame man can cross mountains, and the blind man can see the stars in the sky. And then it's explained that that Kaviraja Goswami stressed Kripa Siddha, perfection by the mercy of superior authorities. This mercy does not depend on the qualification of a devotee. But such mercy, even if a devotee is a dumb, he can speak or write to glorify the Lord splendidly. Even if lame, he can cross mountain, and even if blind, he can see the stars in the sky. So basically, you see, we don't deserve it. We don't deserve this mercy, but just because of them being a pure devotees, they can give it to us. And So, but only Krishna can give, I want to just stress that only Krishna can give you a liberation. But the guidance to achieve the liberation, it should be given by your spiritual authorities. And the point of what was said before is basically, so yeah, we get this knowledge, we're learning to apply it, and then we're trying to get these realizations. And the most important thing is that everyone should understand that everyone can become a guru at some point. It means, like, of course you won't be like a guru to everyone, but this is our way to glorify Krishna, right? And the most important knowledge and direction which, for example, Prabhupada gave us is just simply to follow a Sankirtana movement, right? So we got this knowledge, and then he instructed us, so go and preach and distribute books. And I know probably Jagadhatri-devī Dāsī would give us like tons of realizations she got from this kind of activities. But yeah, this is the easiest and the most important way given by Srila Prabhupada. And next verse which I wanted to mention is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 61. Also is very famous. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridayadasharjuna tishtanti. Right? Is it right? So the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on a machine made of the material energy. So basically here Krishna is saying to us that he's so he's situated in everyone's heart, and this is one of the most important realizations we need to get, right? To realize, to self-realize ourselves, like to self-realize like part of super soul. And we should understand that, we should remember that Krishna is always situated in our hearts. And he is always giving us instructions and guidance by giving us intelligence. So, and he always knows what is in our heart, right? Like he knows us. Like we cannot fool. Like we cannot cheat with him. So he knows if you are sincere devotee, he will give you this intelligence. Which will help you to go back to him. So, sorry. Yes, so this is what we always need to remember. Krishna is always in our hearts and intelligent. So please be intelligent. This is what I can say from this. And the next one nice point, which is made in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter and 15th verse, which is said, Sarvasya chaham hrdi sanivishto matah smrtir chananam aponaham cha. Vidayascha sarvairaham eva vedyo vedanta kritveda vid eva chaham. So Krishna says, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm in the compiler of the Vedanta, and I'm the knower of the Vedas. So, in this verse, it's nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada that Krishna knows everything. Like, he knows us from all the lives, or the previous lives. We forget ourselves, but he allows us to remember whatever we need to remember, right? So, in this life, we were born without any remembrance of our previous life, but he just gave us an intelligence to self-realize in such a way which put us on the to this point of understanding the knowledge, which in the best way will help us to, sorry, it's like so complicated explanation for me. Anyway, so he gives us enough of knowledge to continue in this life from that point on which we finished in previous life. And also it is said that Krishna manifested himself in Vedas too. So this is how he gives us this knowledge which we can use in our way. Yeah, so it is said that he is worshipable not only as impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back home. And basically the conclusion of this verse is that by understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is three stages of how we can attain the perfection, right? So once again, by understanding the first one, by understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then, by performing the different processes, one can approach him. And in the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no longer than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in conclusion of this class, I can say that we should always remember our main goal, right? Which is to realize Krishna as a Supreme Lord. And He gives us very clear instructions how to attain it. And basically it's very simple. And the only thing we need to do is just submissively follow this with a humble state of mind, just to try to get as much knowledge as we can from the right sources, right? From the Srila Prabhupada's books, and then just simply follow instructions of our spiritual masters. And then realization will come, because Krishna always knows what is in your heart, and that's how He can deliver you in any way. So thank you so much for listening. Actually I would really love to hear any of your realizations, not just from this class, but anything you can, like the last thing you can remember from your Krishna realizations, you know? I remember, I can start, very short story, just recently happened. So once our dearest Yelena Mataji shared with me that wherever desire she has in her heart, which is related to any kind of service, it's almost immediately manifested in real life. And so when she shared it with me, I was thinking about it. I was thinking, it's so nice, right? When we have the right intention, and this is how Krishna knows. He knows that it's your real desire just to simply serve Him, and then immediately He gives you an opportunity to do this. So, and the other day, before the Tulsi Puja, during the morning program, I was thinking I haven't done Tulsi Puja for so long, almost 2 weeks or something. I was I'd really love to do this, but somehow it's always somebody else starts to do this, and I don't have an opportunity to go and start Tulsi Puja. And anyway, so I was thinking about that while I was bowing down on the floor, but my desire was probably I need to talk to someone, because I cannot stand it anymore. It's been 2 weeks, so long. And then I just when I stand up, immediately, the Prabhu who was going to do the Tulsi Puja, somehow he just offered it to me. I was wow, this is how it works. Any sincere desire which is related to devotional service is fulfilled, and it's so nice. It gives you some encouragement just to continue, because this is can be small realization, but everyday life consists with these small realizations, and this is how we develop our relationship with Krishna as well. Just simply always remember about Krishna, never forget about Krishna. So, anyone else?
I just remembered something when you were talking about Krishna being in our heart, and I remember, I think the story is in the book Salt and Bread about those first Russian devotees, and one of them tells a story that when he was in jail, he was preaching, but at that time, it was even they didn't have a lot of books, they didn't have a lot of knowledge
Mm-hmm.
of Krishna consciousness. But he was arrested and he was preaching in jail, and he said that he was selling stories, he was selling Krishna Leelas that he didn't even know yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it turned out to be all true. But Krishna was given in his heart because he was in jail, had no means
Wow.
to get, you know, any literature or any knowledge. So he was just Krishna helped him preach.
That's very nice. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for your association, for being awesome listeners. And yeah, Grantaraj, Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.